The Elf Queen of Shannara is a 1992 fantasy novel by Terry Brooks, and it is book 3 of 4 in the Heritage of Shannara, and so therefore the 6th overall Shannara book. I thought the previous book, Druid, was fine, and Science, the one before that, set up an interesting new quest, and now we return to that quest. An elf woman starts the story looking at a volcano while near the Elcris, contrasting coming death and past life. Aberlon is not where it was originally in the Westland. Elven magic has transported it to the island of Morrowindle. Rin Ohmsford is on a quest sent by the Shade of the Druid Alanon to travel to the elves and bring back the elves and their land to the Four Lands. The problem is no one knew where the elves were, but the Addershag may be able to help Rin. Rin, as before, was raised by rovers but looks pretty elven. Elves, which haven't been seen in more than 100 years, are considered a fantasy to most people. A few things to remember are the Elfstones, which she doesn't believe are really magical, just painted rocks. Also, her companion is Garth, a deaf-mute rover that acts as a guide. He helps her to learn of her past and learn how to survive the trials coming in this book, pretty much. Speaking of, she is the star of this book. After getting very little page time in the second book, Walker Bow does get some updates after his previous harrowing experience, and Cole is still in his confinement and dealing with Rimmer Dahl, saying Par is a shadow wind and whatnot. But pretty much it's all Rin, which I thought worked really well, and I enjoyed this book more than Druids, considerably more than Druids. I think there's one scene in Druids I think is really cool, and there we don't get a cool scene like that in this book, but overall I just think it's a more entertaining book. Tiger Ty is also a character that's kind of important in the story. He rides a rock, or a roke. I'm not sure how you say it, just giant bird, right, from myth. We also learn of differences between the land elves and sky elves, which is pretty interesting. While it doesn't, again, have the cool Mogrant stuff, this book is much more enjoyable, has some good Shannara feels, which, I don't know, take it as you will, I guess. There's also, I guess, kind of, the Shannara feels kind of generic, kind of leaning on good wins, which is not bad, I'd say. But also there's silly things. Like, I just feel like Shannara has, like, the oddest fantasy names ever. They're just like Tiger Ty, like what? Anyways, it is also definitely kind of more in a young adult range of fantasy. This series is considerably darker, I would say, than the original 3 books. So the original 3 books definitely have their moments for sure. That's the conflict, of course. This one feels a bit more mature in some aspects. So anyways, I did enjoy this one. Since reading Elf Queen, I've actually since finished this second Shannara series, Heritage of Shannara, but I'll give you my thoughts on the 4th book in that series here soon. Anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I'll catch you next time.